India, a place with a really old history, has secrets buried in its ground from a time long ago, the Stone Age. Back then, people used stone tools and there wasn't any writing, so to figure out what life was like, we have to look at what archaeologists have dug up. The Stone Age in India isn't just our story. It's shared with other places nearby, like Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. A long time ago, people called Homo erectus traveled here from Africa. The tools they made, the places they lived, and the art they created tell us about how they lived. Learning about the Stone Age helps us understand how people started living in India. It shows how they learned to make better tools, how they lived together, and what they believed. This all led to farming and living in one place, not moving around all the time. It's amazing to think about how clever these early people were. We know a lot about India's Stone Age because of British explorers who studied the East a long time ago. They were really curious about India and wanted to learn all about it. One important person was Sir William Jones. He came to India in 1783. He loved learning about languages and law. He figured out that languages like Sanskrit, Greek, and Latin were related, like cousins. This was a big discovery and showed how old Indian culture really is. Another important person was Warren Hastings. He was the first Governor-General of Bengal. He loved learning about India's past and thought it was important for his job. He helped people collect and translate old Indian writings. This helped us learn even more about how people thought and lived in ancient India. In 1861, something big happened. The Archaeological Survey of India, or ASI, was created. This group is like a history detective squad. Alexander Cunningham, an important scholar and engineer, led the ASI. He's known as the father of Indian archaeology. He knew it was important to be careful when studying old places. He wanted everything written down properly and measured correctly. He led the ASI as they explored and dug up lots of old cities, temples, and other important places. The ASI didn't just find things, they also protected them. They fixed old buildings so they wouldn't fall apart. Thanks to them, we can still see these amazing places today and learn about the people who lived long ago. The Stone Age in India lasted a really long time. We divide it into three parts: the Lower Paleolithic, the Middle Paleolithic, and the Upper Paleolithic. Each part has different kinds of tools, showing how people got better at making things. The Lower Paleolithic is the oldest part. It started about 2.6 million years ago. People made simple tools like hand axes and cleavers by hitting rocks together. They used these tools for hunting, cutting up animals, and preparing food. The Middle Paleolithic started about 385,000 years ago and lasted until about 40,000 years ago. People started making smaller, fancier tools. They used a special trick called the Levallois technique to make the tools just the right shape and size. They also made new tools like scrapers and points, which means they were doing more different kinds of things and getting better at living in their environment.